This is, again, a very simple approach. The teacher was involved in fashion and spent a significant amount of time showing students how to sort of create a molding from a fashion dummy. You know, there's a process of doing this. I don't teach fashion. I can't speak authoritatively to this. But the process was involved. And essentially, students were getting lost along the way. So what you wanted to do was set up some animation to sort of enable students to move to and from particular time frames within that process, and to revisit it at certain points and maybe go back, recheck something, so they could almost have this animation open as they're going through the process again in certain parts of the laboratory. So this was the premise behind the molding sort of simulation. This one was essentially an online board game. It's sort of a visualization of an online quiz. So the lecturer inputs a number of a number of questions into the database and some feedback for the questions. And it really is just a way of making the dry process of maybe going through a multiple choice quiz a little bit more visual. And Hong Kong students generally like some competition. So it's a way of also capturing these questions in terms of some rating of the students who've done better at the game than others. So it goes through and you choose your character and so on. Then I won't go through it, and essentially it's sort of like many of the other similar games. You choose a little icon to represent yourself, and when it goes through and hits one of these different areas, a question pops up. What's that mean? A question, oh, it's snoring because we're not doing anything. It's telling you to start, come on. So a question pops up that's randomly drawn from the database of questions. I'll probably try and turn the sound off, I think. Oh, true, like the roll the dice. All right. So this is the question. I choose my answer, and then it gives me some feedback based on my response. And also, at the end, it gives the student a summary of all the questions they've gone through and the feedback they received. And you can print it out. Okay. Just one last point. Okay, so just to recap, the only one I haven't been able to show you is this one, because it's using actually software that you would download to your desktop. It's an open source system from MIT called Scratch is the software used. And essentially it's used to design scenarios, for the Flash-based scenarios. The lecturer who created this works in knowledge management. And so essentially he wanted a way of reproducing some scenario very easily for the number of lectures and tutors that teach into this course from across the world. So essentially the interface allows you to sort of specify conversation between two or more of the different characters in this online sort of space. And it really is a simple matter of dragging the character onto sort of a screen, then typing in the text you want it to say in the order of the character's interaction. It's very straightforward. We actually have a link to this if you want to download your own version of it to sort of play with. And then these are the subject-based websites I referred to.
All right, finally, as we said before, we wanted to, originally our idea was for you to play around with these examples in the laboratory, all right? But we weren't able to do that today, but you can still do it. We've created this Wiki Spaces. The URL is up there, and you will be able to see all those examples that Peter's been talking about, including some others that the PolyU has also developed, including YouTube and Wiki projects. Now it's a wiki space, there's also a forum there as well, so if you're interested, and our PowerPoint slides also will be up there, and the checklist. Now if you're interested in contributing to this wiki, there's a discussion forum there as well, and if you're interested you can email Peter and I, and we can invite you to become members. Okay, I think that's about it.
Yeah. Just one other aside, we developed this before the Ning site was available, so we'll obviously link, otherwise it's cross purposes, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much.